All right.
All right. Hey, everybody, if you're watching, we're here at Fall Inn in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And, it's kind of funny. Steve and I were thinking we were going to do a lot more goofing around than, game promoting and that kind of, actual like hobby work, if you want to call it that. But it's been busy. We're right here by the front entrance, and we've got our table set up, and a lot of folks have been coming by wanting to see what's going on here and asking about Blood Red Skies and aerial wargaming in general. So we've ended up doing a bunch of demo games and just otherwise promoting the hobby. And not to say that it's been fun, but we've been busy, right? So we haven't played any of our own games that we kind of thought we'd be goofing off, messing around with. But it's first thing in the morning here today, and Steve and I, one of the things we wanted to do was play one of our campaign games from Air Medals and Iron Crosses. And it wouldn't be practical, really, given how busy it's been for us to play our full 1,000-point mission that we rolled for last time. But what we decided to do was to play a segment of that game. So we're going to play our full hand, our full card deck from our 1,000-point game, but we're each only flying a single element. In my case, I'm going to fly for the first time Ju-88s. So in my campaign, my attack squadron has recently had the opportunity to add some Ju-88s to the aircraft lineup. And I've never flown them before, so this will be a first. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And just to give you a little background, it's what we had rolled for is a 1,000-point mission. And the scenario is priority target. So we're going to just go right to the Wing Commander book and pull up the steps to get started. Some of the things we've already rolled for, so might make it go a little faster. Each of us have an element of 3 aircraft. And I'm going to be the attacker, so I'm going to have bombers in the mission. So let's see, I'm going to go right to page 39 of Wing Commander. So we've already generated our mission type. We know our mission size is 1,000 points. We rolled last night before we set up the table, and we know our target is a destroyer. Probably see that on the table there. Let's see. Our next step. We already have our duty roster, right? We did that ahead of time. So now we're going to go right to step 3, pre-mission setup. So we've already determined initiative, and this really came down to the fact that I brought some bomber models. So by that fact alone, I'm going to be the attacker. So my bomber element's going to be 3 HE-111s. So we need to place clouds. Since I have the initiative, I'll place the first cloud. I'm just going to throw one out randomly. 4 clouds. The cloud. All right. Oh, I can move this too. All right. Cool. So we got the clouds placed. Now we're going to determine the front line. So we're going to roll on the chart on page 42, and we rolled a 4, which is a diagonal. A diagonal. We've marked it with these die here on the corners of the table. So this is our front line. So friendly territory for me is going to be on this side. My enemy territory is going to be on this side, and vice versa for Steve. And we'll leave those dice on there just so we remember that it was a diagonal front line. That'll be important toward the end of the game. Go back to my book here and see what our next step is. Oh, I forgot to determine weather. So we placed clouds. We got to determine weather. So we rolled on the chart, and we got storm clouds for our weather. So here's the card, storm clouds. Play this card during deployment. In this scenario, planes at inner clouds become disadvantaged instead of neutral. So you notice that we don't know what the weather's going to be until after we place the clouds, so we can't exploit, we're not supposed to have pre-knowledge of what the clouds do. We rolled for this just to save time before we started recording. So, okay, so we have to remember that. Clouds are going to be putting us at disadvantage instead of neutral. Okay. That was determining weather. That also have an impact on some of our landing checks and stuff too, right? Because if the weather's bad, it might be a nerf to our
For
landing
sure,
checks,
and I'm
yeah.
already flying an aircraft that's difficult to land with that -1, so could get a little spicy on the landing checks at the end.
So now we collect our action deck. Now, like I mentioned, we're going to play this game with our full action deck. So in a sense, it's kind of like we're just playing a portion of the battle with one element. But you might imagine, I think in my duty roster, I had 13 aircraft on the table. I think you had maybe 14.
Yeah, I think my full fighter squadron,
Probably close to 15 planes,
and then actually a couple of the Hurricanes for my alternate squadron also.
Right.
So I think it's 16
in the normal
aircraft or
setup,
something.
that would have made you automatically the attacker, and you would have had the bombers. Which for priority target, I actually prefer. I think some of my best games have been defending against the bombers, but we did it differently this time because I had bombers, so it makes sense for me.
And it is important to note that for our campaign games, we've been playing closed hand the whole time,
Yes.
right? Now, we've been playing closed hand, but what we have been doing is ace cards that come up. We kind of put them off to the side so that doesn't count against your cards. But I don't think either of us have any ace pilots in today, right?
Yeah. I bet if I put my card deck up here on the edge of the table, it'll be visible to the viewers, right? I'll put it off on
Yeah,
the sideboard
slightly,
right
sure.
now.
Let's just put them up
So I'll
there,
go
I
ahead
guess.
and move my deck up. I already got my deck built, and it's the closed deck. So there's my pile to choose from, and because of how many aircraft I have, it's a 4-hand deck. So I'll have 4 cards in my hand. There are my 4 cards. There's my pile, and I have a theater card that's played at deployment, and I have an equipment card that's also played at deployment.
And
So
I actually
those are there.
have my 2 deployment cards, and I didn't draw yet, so let me go ahead and draw.
So what Steve means about our ace card, the way we do our hands, if we had aces in this deck, when the ace card comes up, we would add it to our 4 cards that are always visible. So we'd have 4 cards plus an ace when it popped up.
All right, Brett. Well, I got a little fun Trixie right here,
All right,
right off
yeah.
the bat. So this vulnerable card, we decided we were going to use as our random event
Oh,
card.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
right off the rip, a random event.
All right, hold on a second. Before we do that, let's make sure we're doing our thing. So we just got our action deck. We're not going to we'll do all that stuff at
Yeah.
deployment. So the next thing is going to be choosing the bombers. I already mentioned we have 3 HE-111s. We've already rolled for the pilot skill on the bombers, and they're all pilot skill 3. So now we deploy aircraft. We already determined who has which table edge. Kind of you follow along. This is my table edge. There's
Yep,
our target
so
and all that stuff.
We only have one element, so yeah. Also, little interesting note to remember here with that: planes entering clouds become disadvantaged.
So for deploying,
Yeah,
aircraft,
I
we
want to
have-
ask a question,
yeah.
guys. So, we now have vulnerable Spitfires.
No.
That's just a random card we put
We
in,
just
so
didn't have a random event
our-
card.
Ah, okay.
A bonus event card.
All right.
A random event
I was
card.
trying to process that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Still, how the best airplane in the game
yeah.
could be
No,
vulnerable.
Well, I just didn't cut the card out of my book, so I just used a card
A vulnerable
we knew didn't
card.
apply to
Cover.
our
All
hand
right.
to stand in for.
Yeah, and that
I
book
was
is
starting to get a little worried.
Dude, that's the first edition of this book too. That's like collector's edition.
He's not going to cut that stuff
You
out.
can't be cutting that
Oh,
stuff
come
out of
on.
this book. Come on,
Come
guys.
on.
Do
Yeah,
not
mine's
cut
signed
those
by
out.
Andy Chambers, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, so I'm going to airstrike to pull up the mission. Our mission, of course, is priority target. So on page 60 of airstrike, it's going to give me all the details for how we set up our game because we're at that deployment part. So let's see. Target and flak. Okay, so we place a target marker for our target, which in this case is a destroyer, 9 inches from the midpoint of the enemy's table edge. And we don't have instead of putting the card from my book on the table, we actually have some markers there that show the amount of flak and all that stuff that's on there, how many hull points it has.
Yeah,
It's all straight from
and
the
they're
card.
sitting on the beautiful neoprene ship targets
Man,
from
don't
Blood
people need to
Falcon.
go to Blue Falcon Hobbies and snatch those up before they're out of stock again?
Yeah, they just sell like hotcakes,
All
man.
right.
Those neoprene ship targets.
Okay, so defending player draws 1 light flak card and 1 flak barrage card at random. So we rolled on that, and we actually indicated those. He got 6 barrage flak and 2 light flak. Those are indicated by those little markers we have there. So the defending player can give up 1 or both of his flak cards in exchange for barrage balloon markers. The barrage balloon markers must be deployed so they are not touching the target marker or each other. So do you choose to do that? Now's the
I'm gonna
time.
keep. I'm gonna keep flak barrage.
Okay,
I like
all right,
it.
so we'll skip that. All right, defending player elements. The defending player then deploys one of his elements within 9 inches of the target marker. You only have one element, so that's your thing. If Steve had additional elements,
Within 9 inches, you said, right? All right.
if he had remaining elements, they would be deployed as high cover markers along the same table edge as the target.
So
marker.
with the storm clouds, they enter the cloud and become disadvantaged, but they're still neutral when they
Yeah, they don't
leave,
exist,
which is important to
essentially,
note
when they're
because
in
all
the
it's really going to affect is that if you stop in the cloud, it's going to affect your turn order. It's not going to affect
Your turn order, and you can't do that free burn advantage to
Yeah.
maneuver, dive, whatever to get out of the cloud.
Yeah.
So
Is that right?
that's a huge change to how people normally enter a cloud. They're like, all right, I get neutralized when I enter the cloud,
Yeah.
so at least I can burn advantage, dive out of the cloud, turn, whatever, come out neutral again.
Yeah.
No.
You can come out
You
neutral,
come out neutral,
but you're not burning.
but you're not burning any advantage because
Yeah.
you're disadvantaged. You're the last dudes to move. Yeah, it
let's-
changes clouds.
Explain that to me again. So if I enter the cloud, I put it in a disadvantage.
Yep.
When he's parked there, so for the for the
still,
turn order.
if you're flying through a cloud, it doesn't change.
Yeah, it doesn't change
because
it.
you're still coming out of the cloud neutral. But if you stop in the cloud,
Oh, really?
it changes it for
Yep.
next turn.
Yep.
enter the clouds, become I would think it would be disadvantaged as soon as you touch the cloud.
Because
So you
you are right, but if you're flying through it, you're disadvantaged. But you come out again and you're back to neutral. You just can't stop. You don't want to stop.
Yeah,
in the cloud.
yeah. You don't want to stop because it'll cause you to lose your play order and the ability
And your
to
free move.
Yeah,
Okay.
your
That's
free
the first
burning
time I think I've
advantage.
encountered storm clouds in all the games we've played.
You must have had nice opponents in all your tournament play because that's like my favorite thing to pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall it. I don't typically play clouds anyway. I usually try to remove them.
Yeah,
A lot
well,
of
I like that one, and I like Strong Winds because Strong Winds is one you can play either way. You can either get rid of a boom shit or award a boom shit with it. So
Nice.
I'm kind of a jerk when I play tournaments. That's why they don't let me play.
Okay, so now I get to
Just when
deploy
you
my
play
stuff.
tournaments, or
Oh, ow, that hurt. Ow, ow. Put the boss behind the stream deck, and all of a sudden everyone's taking shots at him. Hi,
right,
welcome
so-
back to the Lead Pursuit podcast, where no one's going to listen to Steve and Brett because I'm going to mute their mics. Go ahead,
So
sorry.
attacking player elements. The attacking player begins by designating the table edge opposite the edge with the target marker as home. So the table edge I'm standing next to is my home edge.
yep.
One attacking element is deployed within 6 inches of the home table edge, and the attacking player may deploy up to one additional element if desired. So I only have one element. Now, since my elements are made up entirely of multi-engine aircraft, my element, I should say, I get to deploy within 9 inches of the table edge. So I can get just a little bit closer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let's see. Where do I want to put these guys?
Is anybody? Man, really good turnout too at Fallen. If you're watching the stream, I think 1 o'clock we're gonna have a little impromptu combined arms game going on. Not the legit combined arms game, but our own kind of cobbled together version with some other game systems. We'll have to see how it goes.
Get this so I don't fly into a cloud right off the bat, right? Okay. So those guys are deployed. Turn back to my book to see what I'm supposed to do next here. Okay. Where did I leave off? Elements, okay. Starting advantage level. All attacking aircraft begin advantaged. That's me. I'm advantaged. Boom.
And while Brett's sitting here manhandling his aircraft,
All right.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Mike Rafferty, who's watching. Thanks, brother. It's we're looking forward to doing this streaming and more at Adepticon 2024. So hopefully we'll have guys from a couple different systems between World of Tanks, Bolt Action, Blood Red Skies, all having their game streamed during Adepticon.
All right, Steve now has to roll a d6 for his each of his aircraft.
Not too bad. When do the bombers come on?
Yeah, I guess we'll get to that. So there's some special rules. It says here, attackers fuel. Attackers will have undertaken an arduous journey simply to reach this point with flak and harassing enemies along the way. All attacking squadrons start the scenario with one boom shit already applied. All right, so I'm out the gate with already a boom shit. Okay, the bombers. Here we go. The bombers begin this game laden with bombs or torpedoes. Any other attacking aircraft may have bomber, rocket, strafing ordnance loaded at the option of the attacking player. Let's see. Some other notes here. I'm looking to see where it says the bombers are deployed.
Yeah, I do have to do this radar support card too also. So I do have radar support there, so make a maneuver test for any friendly plane. If they pass, they start the scenario advantage. So we're going to do 6 dice over here. See if we can get that middle Spitfire back up to advantage. Yeah, and he's good to go. Excellent.
So here's a question. It says all remaining elements on the attacker side deploy as high cover markers. Does that mean my bombers are in high cover? It doesn't give any other specifics about where to put them. So I deployed my attack squadron guys, but my bombers, I did.
What was the deployment for you in that first step?
It says, let's see, attacking player elements. The attacking player begins by designating table edge as home. One attacking element is deployed within 6 inches. Unless they're twin engine, they're 9 inches from the home at table edge. All remaining attacking elements deploy as high cover markers.
Yeah,
So I guess
they're high cover.
This is the infamous fly high cover around the board and never even get to the target.
Got
So
a
we
high
need-
cover marker handy?
Yeah, you could use one of these.
Yeah, how
Use
about
that blue die
All right.
right there.
So let's see. So I'm going to do the whole fly around the board thing. So I could start here. There's my high cover. I don't know how far. Probably need to be inside the line for folks to see it.
Oh, no, right on the edge is good. It'll
Okay.
be perfect.
There we go. All right. All right, now back to, let's see. So it says here, they begin laden. I'm not going to do strafing ordnance or anything. Just keep it simple. All right. Attacking aircraft that exit the table leave this scenario altogether. If a defending aircraft leaves the table, it re-enters play on the following turn. If it passes a maneuver test, none of that's probably likely to happen because Steve only has the one element. Each of us only have one element, essentially, of attackers besides these bombers on my side. All right. The game length. The scenario continues until the target card is destroyed, or the last bomber exits the table or is shot down. And victory is achieved if the target is destroyed. The attacker player wins in that event. If the target is undamaged at the end of the game, the defending player wins. If the target is damaged at the end of the game but not destroyed, we count up victory points. The player with the greatest total number of victory points wins the game. And let's see, here's defending player victory points. Each attacking aircraft shot down is worth the following number of victory points to the defending player. Let's see, twin engine is 3 victory points per twin engine. And attacking player victory points. Each bomber that exits via the home table edge is 1 victory point. Each defending aircraft shot down is 1 victory point. Each point hit scored on a target card is 2 victory points. And each hull hit scored on the target is 4 victory points. So I got to do some damage to this target. All right, so that's everything for our setup and victory
Well,
conditions. Now
hold
we go
on.
back.
Wait 1 second. Restricted airfields.
Okay, what you got?
So restricted airfields, limited space on forward airfields could severely restrict operations. Play this card during deployment. If the enemy has an equal or greater number of aircraft, one enemy plane of their choice does not appear in this scenario.
Oh,
so
so
you
I
got to
just automatically
remove
take a
one
plane away.
plane.
Dang, well, I guess I'll take this novice out. He's gone. Put him over here.
And before we get started, don't forget I do have that random event card.
Oh, hold on. I got some deployment cards too. So
Uh-oh.
I got supply shortages. All enemy squadrons start the game with one boom chit. At least I've got that.
Oh, another one. All right. Oh no, I didn't get one from
yeah,
your.
I got one. Oh, that's right. I gotta put a boom chit on my bomber squadron too. All elements start with a boom chit on my side. Okay,
So-
and then I got drop tanks. So drop tanks. Play this card. A designated friendly squadron disregards one boom chit. So I'm gonna take a boom chit off my Ju-88s.
All right.
We're done with that now.
So right now we have my Spitfire squadron has one boom chit, and your HE-111 squadron has one
That's it.
boom chit.
All right, so I'm going to go back to Wing Commander and see what we got going now, right? So we did the deployment as per the, now we do the pre-mission event. That's the next step. I know you've got a random event that
All right.
actually happens once we start play. So let's do the pre-mission event.
All right.
Weather, mechanical issues, navigation errors, and unexpected friendly or enemy actions can all impact a combat mission before the aircraft even reach the target area. Each player rolls to determine if there's a pre-combat event. Once you have both deployed all aircraft as specified in the scenario, each player rolls 2d6 on the pre-mission event chart and follows the flow chart to determine the outcome. Go
All
for it.
right.
What
So
you got?
this is it for me, huh? Pre-mission event.
All right.
2d6. Got a 12.
12. The result is a aircraft malfunction.
Oh no, aircraft
Nice.
malfunction.
All right. So you need to roll 1d6.
All right. 4.
Or minor system failure.
All
See
right.
below. All right. Minor system failure. Your pilot's aircraft is experiencing an annoying mechanical issue that will limit his aircraft's peak performance. Add one boom chit to this pilot's squadron in the post-mission sequence. This aircraft will count as being damaged.
Oh
His
man.
outcome,
So I guess I got to roll. So I got one more boom chit on those Spitfires,
right?
and I need to roll. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, to
And
see who it is. Yeah,
This
you make a note.
depends
your
on the
sheet.
pilot, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna figure out which guy this is. So this will be part of the post game.
So that dude in the middle, that's going to be, I think that was my pilot, Donald Douglas,
Okay.
if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
make
So
a
we'll have
quick
to make a note of
yeah.
that.
So when we're playing these games, usually we're just doing this online on Tabletop Simulator. Since we live in different states, we have our little note sheets inside. We make these notes so that when it comes to the post game, we'll remember that kind of stuff. All right. So moving right along, it's my turn. 2d6. Is there another one in there I can't see? There we go. Is that a 4? Pilot DNF. DNF. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to lose a pilot. Oh no. Page 44, DNF. Pilot DNF. One of your pilots gets ill or is scheduled for DNF at the last minute. Duties not including flying. Randomly select one pilot from your duty roster and remove this pilot from the mission.
Oh, man.
You may make a last-minute replacement with a pilot from your personnel roster that holds the same position and is within the points limits for this.
All right. So it's not going to affect the game, but
It would be that pilot.
Yeah.
So let's see. That was
But it could affect skill wise. So, you know,
if he doesn't have
it doesn't
one,
have
then
another pilot
replace.
skill 3 or whatever.
so Halfried Holland is this guy, but I'll replace him with Volker Tiedemann.
All
Same
right.
skill level and everything, but it'll affect like who gets
right.
the big points or the.
Yeah.
He's not going to get any.
Yeah. So potentially there, the first guy was out a little late last night.
Yeah,
A little
right.
too much fun on the town.
So he won't like get the chance to earn the experience. But this other guy that I wasn't even planning on putting in will. I don't have to change the model because it's the same skill level,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
aircraft, everything. Okay, cool. So let me make sure I'm tracking. So that was our pre-mission event. Now we play the mission. So let's do it. All right. So we're ready to do it. And you're starting the game with you got a random event.
Yeah,
card,
what's the
right?
random event card?
That's right. I got to pull that up.
This is going to be exciting. This could be some extra planes for me, kind of turn the tide of this battle.
Let me find the random event stuff. So, okay, mission random event. Prussian Field Marshal Helmuth von Moltke and other famous military commanders is quoted as saying something to the effect of, "No battle plan ever survives first contact with the enemy. When a random event card is drawn, roll 2d6 on the mission random event chart. Immediately discard and replace the random event card with a new card from your action deck."
All right, here we go. 2d6. We got an 8.
In the zone.
Oh, that's going to be good. It's probably not going to matter at the beginning.
In the zone, even an inexperienced pilot could have a moment of flying genius performing beyond their normal abilities. Randomly select one friendly aircraft that is deployed on the table and not advantaged or in a cloud. This plane immediately gains one level to his advantage state. They're already all
Yeah, all
advantaged,
my guys
so
are advantaged.
that'll
So.
really help.
All right, so,
Okay, so replace that with something from your deck, and we'll keep going.
and I guess since we're kind of playing an abbreviated deck here, we'll only do one random event. Normally we'd have, 20 cards in the deck when you got 15 planes. So maybe we'll set this off to the side and kind of
Okay.
that way we're not getting a random event every turn as
all
we're
the
going through
time,
the cards.
Yeah, because it really in our deck it probably happens once per game.
Yeah.
It's not super frequent.
Which is another reason why in the campaign we've been playing closed deck instead. So you get that random event card and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So I guess I get to start. I've got an advantage 4.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. These guys are speed 6. I'm going to fly right at them. Why not? You may be watching are going to be able to see that I have much to learn still when it comes to playing. It's going to go after it. All right.
All right. So advantage 3. What do you got over there for speed on those guys?
Well, I'm sure they're slower than your guys. Let's see. Mine is 350. No, 270. No, wait. 300. I'm looking at all these cards.
And also these JU-88Cs, they're not agile, right?
Yeah, I can't
So
outmaneuver.
we're just playing kind of straight twin engine type rules, right?
right.
And I can't outmaneuver. I can or can't outmaneuver you. I cannot,
You
right?
can't outmaneuver, and I can't outmaneuver.
So this is gonna. But I could shoot at
Shoot at 'em
any
from any angle, yeah.
at any state, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, at any state, I should say, yeah. Yeah, you don't have to have the...
So we're just gonna
Advantage
go
over 'em
up
to
7. We're gonna turn a little bit. We're gonna be a little aggressive here today.
All right, yeah, it's going to go after it. So all your guys are going to go before me.
All right. And this guy, they were all facing the same direction. I'm gonna dive with this guy. So I'll go my 7. I'll go my I'm not gonna go a lot extra. Climb back up. I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy. So I'm gonna dive, go 7 plus 6, turn my 45, and climb back up. All right, so those guys are all good to go.
Right? And this guy, again, he is speed 6. I keep looking at my cards. I can't remember their stats. It's the first time I played the JU-88s. And I might give this guy a quick turn. And I'll call him done. Now here's a question for you. Guys in high cover, do we move them in the improper order? We're supposed to move them at the very end or the very beginning? Okay, so now it's time to move my high cover. They're here. I'm just going to go 9 inches. Right up the table edge. They're done. All right, so that's the end of a turn.
Want to use some of these fancy chits that you can get at the Lead Pursuit online store. Make it look nice and fancy, huh?
Oh, here's a question for you. When can I discard stuff? Is this the time I can
I think
get
you
rid
can
of a card?
discard whenever as long as you have 3 in your hand.
All right, so I'm going to get rid of this card because it's not really practical. I don't have any anybody that could even use that card. And I'll pull up another one. Cool. All right, that's good. That could help me. Like,
Good to
anytime
go?
you take a pilot action, I might get to have you roll for it.
So that's it for this turn, right?
That's it. I got
All
my
right,
new
so
my
let's
new
clear
deck is- My new hand is ready.
I got 3 in my hand.
All right, advantage 4.
Good to go. Good to go. These are coming off.
So I'm not in range to do any shooting yet. Let's see. Range of that guy for a deflection shot.
All right, man. I'm really hurting here too. So I'm going to play my defensive tactics card. So in reaction to an enemy shooting, the plane under attack may make a bonus 45 degree, 90 degrees with tight turn. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little unorthodox here because I only have one boom shit to play with. I got to try to affect some type of damage on you.
Okay.
I'm going to be getting boomed out quick. So I'm going to play this defensive tactics card. I'm going to turn this into a head-on
Head-on shot. All right. You see,
So
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
go
also-
after this guy because I was trying to avoid the head-on shot, and you turned it.
I'm
into
also going to play that with a tight turn card to keep the defensive tactics card. So
Very
we'll put that
nice.
over here on the discard pile.
All right. So
And then,
I'm firepower 2, and I still get to use my pilot skill. I just don't get to use it for the turret in the rear, right? So
No, I
still get-
think, chat, we were talking about that yesterday, Doug. With the regular multi-engine, when he's doing a frontal attack, is he using pilot skill as a regular shooting with that?
Okay, so he's got something a little strange because it's Ju-88Cs, so he has a forward firepower, and theoretically, even though that's a ground attack aircraft, he will get heavy hitter, firepower 2, and his pilot skill when he shoots.
All
So,
right, let's
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Not in range for heavy hitter, though, right?
Yeah, I don't get to use a heavy hitter because it's not within 3 inches. I guess in retrospect, I don't know if I'm within 3 inches there,
Ooh,
but
it's
it would have been
close
nice
for
to
sure.
get to use the heavy hitter. But here we go.
Oh, miss.
Oh, bummer.
So nothing. All right, so this could be good here. This could be good. So I am going to play. Oh, I can't. I already used a doctrine, but here we go. 3 plus 1 for the firepower. So we're shooting back with 4. And a miss.
Oh,
So
thank
nothing
goodness.
happened.
Here's a question for you. Can I get rid of one of my heavy hitter cards? When at what point do I?
I discard it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and discard it and replace it with something from my.
I guess
From my
were we
deck.
doing discards at the end traditionally is how we did it at the end of the turn maybe. But it's cool. It's all good.
All right. Oh, look what I got.
Oh,
So that's my.
random event. Let's
card.
hear it. Here, you want me to read this one while you go
Yeah,
through
sure,
it?
sure. Find it
All
in
right.
there.
Here we
I'm
go
just gonna
with
go ahead and
another
discard
random
this since
event.
It's such a small game. Like
Yeah,
it is, right? So I
absolutely.
set that off the side. It won't come up in my hand again.
Absolutely.
We don't typically have in any given game more than one random event.
All right, mission random event. So 2d6 there.
2d6.
And we got a 5
Yes.
Gremlins.
Oh no,
This
that's
is not
negative.
going to be good. Gremlins, an unexpected and unexplained mechanical malfunction occurs. Add 1 boom chit to the friendly squadron of your choice.
Oh, of my choice.
Oh, random event.
Well,
Brett picked up a boom chit on the where'd we he doesn't know where he's going to put it yet. He's trying to
I
decide.
know. Well, I only have 2 Ju-88s, and I don't want to put a boom chit on them. But at the same time, I don't want to put a second boom chit on the bombers. I need the bombers to do some kind of damage. So I guess I'll take it on the.
All right, so a
Ju-88s.
boom chit. So current count is 2 boom chits on the Spitfires and 1 on the Ju-88s and 1 on
this
the
guy is
HE-111.
having
So the
done.
random events came in there. And maybe, Doug's kind of GMing this game. Maybe we'll just give him the power when he feels like a random event is necessary that he can kind of just
You really should think through
speak
that.
up and
that
go, "You
that
know
might
what?"
not be a good idea.
I'm a little rusty. I want to feel better about how I'm managing my deck. Like I want to get rid of stuff, but I don't know when the appropriate time.
I think
to
we've
do
been
that
doing
is.
discard. What do you think on that, Doug? If you're playing closed deck.
Yeah, let's straighten that up. Let's clarify that. Closed deck.
And okay, it wouldn't be a Lead Pursuit podcast without gratuitous
Steve's
use
laughing.
of
So I think it's this question.
sexual innuendo.
I've got my hand here, right? We do closed deck. I have a 4-card hand,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
have cards I want to get rid of that are not useful to me.
Right.
What's the appropriate time to get rid of a card? Is there a certain sequence, a time when I do that? Is it at aircraft activations, at the end of the turn? How does that work?
Theoretically, it's at the end of the turn.
Okay.
That's when you're supposed to make your decision about what are you going to kick out of your hand to allow you to flip stuff over
Okay.
for your next activation. So I shouldn't say end of the turn, end of the activation.
Oh, okay.
And toss me your airstrike
Here's
rules
airstrike.
there real quick, and I'll bring up the exact wording
cool.
for you. But that's the
Cool. End of activation. That's cool. All right. So advantage 3. It's going to be your guys.
All right. Oh, so we're back up, huh? Advantage 3, advantage 3. You know what? I think we just need to go all out here. Let's start this with this head-on shooting attack right
Okay.
there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right,
Ooh, a
another boom. Oh no, not a boom shit. He just goes.
because it's multi-engine.
Yep, multi-engine. So you have to dodge.
So 1 agility, pilot skill 4, so 4 dice. I can't see the back of that tray, so let me know if I've got 4 plus 1. Oh, I did not dodge, so I lose an advantage level, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But still no boom chip.
No boom chick yet.
Okay.
So they only start accumulating those once they're at disadvantage. Yep.
All right. So far, so good.
So you're firing coming back. And I'm actually
Firepower 2 and
actually
4.
you're now shooting back. I'm going to play my defensive tactics card.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn this into a deflection shot
Nice.
and then discard that card.
Okay. This is where that ace with know your type. I know your type comes in because at least I could deny you keeping that card
that's
because I
true.
could turn off the trait. You
That's
still
true.
do the function.
No, it's not a trait. Doctrine.
Well, yeah, but the trait is tight turn, which lets you
Oh, yeah.
keep that card on the table,
point.
right? So what I could have you do is turn off tight turn, so you wouldn't be able to preserve the doctrine
Yeah, that's a
card,
good point.
Which
That's a good
it's a little
point.
bit of an advantage there. All right. I got nothing, man. My guy's got to go back to gunnery.
Nice. And that defensive tactics is a pilot test. So let me roll that to see if I keep that card. I do not retain it, so now that's going to go away. This is going to come out.
And yeah, while we're talking about discards, let me clarify. So each activation, you will have either played a card, done some kind of card action that takes it away. You can fill back up to, in this case, 4 for this size of game at the end of an activation. At the completion of the turn, you then have the option to get rid of anything that's face up at that
Okay.
point.
So if I don't use a card during the activation, I still can't.
You can't just get rid of it.
Okay.
You can find a way to play it to clear something out. Like you could play a bonus card and not use the bonus card, if you know what I'm saying. Just play it with that doctrine, even though you had no intent to either play the doctrine again. Think you can use the system a little bit that way, but
Yeah.
once again, you're probably going to take the benefit of that bonus card.
Sure, and that's a kind of an oversight on my part because the last turn I probably should have gotten rid of some cards that I have no use for because my aircraft
Right.
don't have the opportunity to outmaneuver or be outmaneuvered.
Right,
Like
right.
high altitude performances are going to help.
All
me.
right. Well, we're going to keep this thing going here. We're going to burn advantage so we can make a crazy turn at the end. Fly as close to this cloud as we can. Yeah, we'll go right there. We're going to turn back. And I think, are we in a deflection shot there? Or is that head on?
That's a deflection shot.
All right, so let's take it.
Is that a pilot action?
I'm going to shoot with the pilot
So
action.
I'm going to
Yep.
use poorly trained opponents In reaction to an enemy plane choosing a pilot action, the enemy plane must pass a maneuver test to complete their chosen pilot
All
action.
right. So 3 plus 3. So we got to pass this to shoot. We did not. So we do not get to shoot. And that guy is done moving.
Cool. That worked out. I'm
Nice.
glad I remembered at least use that.
And we're going to start a head-on attack there again.
Okay.
So let's do it. I have this head-on attack. All right, I'm going for it here because this could be a big change here. I'm going to play this head-on attack doctrine card for this shot.
Okay.
And this is multi-engine planes were most vulnerable to head-on attacks. On a friendly plane shooting at a multi-engine target from head-on, on a critical hit, a boom shit is applied directly to the target. So if I get a crit here, this is a boom shit right on those JU-88s. So
Nice.
we've got
That's special
3
'cause it's harder to put a.
plus 1. So let's see what we can
It
do.
would otherwise be hard to put a boom shit on them.
Oh, we didn't even get a hit.
Man, all our guys need to go back to gunnery.
So hold on, let's yeah, we can't do it yet. Okay. So we are going to do a pilot test to retain that head-on attack card. And we do not retain it, so that's going away. We'll fill that. All right. And now we got to move that guy, huh? So let's go ahead and we are going to just keep chugging along here. Minimum move on these guys is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to do the same thing. Let's take another head-on attack there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got a hit.
All right.
So
So I got to try to dodge.
we
that,
got to
right?
dodge, see what happens here.
Pilot skill 4 plus 1. Ah, sweet
Oh,
dodge.
Dodged it. All right. So no damage, no harm, no foul there on that shot. This guy is done. And then let's see.
All right, is this where I get to jump in and proctor the game?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
go
laughing. Toss me your airstrike rule book.
Oh yeah. Why?
This is why nobody likes
I'm
having
not
a
allowed to
TO
dodge or
behind the
something?
stream deck. All right, so those are JU-88Cs,
Yeah.
right? Not agile, right?
Not agile. So they
How many
dodge.
dice did you roll to defend?
Oh, did I mess up? It should have
Okay,
been.
let me read. Multi-engine planes without the agile positive trait only roll dice equal to their base agility when attempting to
just a one.
dodge.
Man.
I added pilot.
Their
skill.
pilot skill
to
is not
know.
added. When dodging deflection,
All right, so we'll redo that.
multi-engine may still use speed instead of agility.
But pilot skill never comes in.
So never.
if you're a non-agile
Even
multi-engine.
if they're heavy fighter.
Hold on, no heavy fighter
I
would
don't
be
have
an
heavy
agile
fighter.
one. You would
I don't
have.
have agile.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have an agile trait. So
Oh, damn.
now we're looking at 88C. Here it says agile. Check wing
yeah,
commander
it
to
says
see if
heavy
there's.
fighter on the
Yeah, I have an
book.
old card. It doesn't.
I
say
think he has an old card. I think it got retconned to be a agile because the.
Well, that changes everything. Cause
No. I think you're
Right,
right. I think you're
right.
playing
I
with an
think
old
it's-
card.
So I should be doing outmaneuvers. and all
Yeah,
that
you think
stuff.
you're still
Yeah,
good.
I think you're still good. 88C. 88C. Whoops, that's the. It's not the list. That's the. So the card we have on the stream says agile, and I'm looking. I see A's, C, multi-engine heavy hitter, turret, rear firepower 1. No, it does. It shows agile on the card we had, but I think that got switched again to
Card's
where
right,
they're.
even though it's an old card.
Yeah,
I just need
exactly.
to re-roll that because I have
right.
too many dice on my dodge.
Right. Yeah, you should
Yeah,
only
so
have
there
your
you go.
dodge.
One die for agile.
And he still
for-
gets it.
For, I mean, not agile. For
man.
agility. It's my one.
Yeah.
agility.
Nice. Okay, something to remember though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Good to
huge impact on most attack aircraft.
All right, so that we're just using the old cards there. That kind of
Okay. We're good.
we'll have to go back and change.
Yeah,
it.
and we got to remember to update the ones for the stream as well.
I'm not
We've
used to
got
playing multi-engine either without.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time I played. I think the 110s. You know, they're agile. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I got this
normal.
last guy. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna burn advantage at the start of our turn. We're gonna turn back in like this, and we are going to fly far enough to keep that. that's going to get us in a head-on shot right there. So we're gonna play that. And again, because it doesn't have that agile, you can shoot at any
That's right. Any
advantage
angle.
level. So
Any advantage level, yeah.
here we
I
go.
keep saying angle like it's a like a
1,
geometry
2,
thing, but I
3,
mean
4 dice.
reroll.
Reroll that one. I
You
got
got
it.
it.
We'll reroll one of these guys. All right. So we got another hit.
All right, so I got to dodge, but now I'm only dodging with one, so I'm doing it right.
Oh, and he
two in a
hits.
row.
And actually, we got to go back and shoot at that guy too. You never shot at that guy last turn.
All right.
So this guy got a hit.
So, that might be worth a Valor point, because that's twice in
Oh,
a
we're going to have
row.
to talk about that. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
make a
yeah.
note. So,
So this guy got a hit. Let me dodge with him. So 3 plus 3.
oh, wait, I didn't shoot back. What are you talking about?
So he dodged. He's good.
Why?
But
What are you dodging? I didn't shoot.
yeah, you just hit him.
No, I just rolled. That was my dodge roll.
Oh, it was. I thought that
you
was your
see
head
that.
on coming back.
A head-on would be...
No, that was head on's a lot more dice.
Oh, man.
Stand by.
Uh-oh.
This
See
is
if I
gonna
even
hurt.
hit.
So this could be it. This could be the
I haven't
end.
hit yet. So 2 plus 4.
Hit with 1.
Crit. Is it 3 inches?
So
'Cause I have heavy hitter.
at this guy.
Oh, no,
I
that's
think
not
that's
3
3.
inches, no. I thought it was the guy.
Yeah, all right. So that's another boom shit. Now we got to
Now you
dodge.
dodge.
The 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. Woo. Got lucky, so he dodged it, but he still took a boom shit. And you got to do the head on coming back at that guy. We never did that last turn.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
3 boom chits, 3 fighters. This
Yes,
could be the
this could be
turn-ending, game-ending die roll right here.
Not
Wah,
that.
wah, or not.
yet. All right. So this guy is done. Those guys are all done.
All right, advantage
And now
3.
that last guy.
88.
Man, there's a lot to remember with those multi-engine, heavy, heavy hitter, all that kind of stuff. Holy smokes.
I'm going to go at least 4. Turn. Is that a head-on shot? That's a head-on shot.
Head on
I'm
shot.
going to do it. So, pilot skill 3 plus 2 on this one.
Ah. So that's going to be a hit. I need to dodge, which is going to be 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Didn't dodge it. Was it on this guy?
Yeah.
So he's going down. All right.
You got to shoot back, right?
And that guy moved, right?
You got to shoot back.
Yeah, I guess, right? 3 plus 1 on the shot coming back. Oh, crit.
All right.
Nice. We'll take that.
So that's a hit.
It's a hit, but
and
you're
I
dodging
dodge.
with.
I don't take a boom chit.
Nope, just dodging with the
Just one. Yeah.
1.
So he did not dodge,
All right.
but I don't take a boom chit, which is
Nope.
that's kind of a nice plus. I'm not.
It is,
mad
it
about
is.
that. I'm trying to outlast here.
But that's going to be it. All the planes on the table moved.
Got to move the
Move the high cover.
high cover. It could be a situation where the bombers are the only ones on the table.
Yeah, but the game's over, right?
Oh, it's not over.
Now, so
It's not over till nobody.
scenario 7, right? Scenario 7 priority target. Target has to be attacked.
So
At
my
some
whole
point.
force is boomed out.
Yep, doesn't matter. Game link. Scenario continues until the target card is destroyed or the last bomber exits the table and is shot down. So now, did you get the fourth? Okay, I missed your fourth
Yeah, I got
boom
my
shit.
fourth
I'm
boom
sorry.
shit. So I'm boomed out at
you were
the end of
boomed
the
out,
turn.
and so now you get to shoot at him as he continues to maneuver
now you get to
around.
work the flak.
So I'm gonna I can put out my flak barrage because that hasn't been out yet, right?
And I don't know why he didn't put that out, but okay.
Well, I don't think they're close enough yet. Anyway, it has to be
Remember, barrage flak isn't a range. Barrage flak is on the board.
Oh
It's like
dang!
that line of stuff. That's right.
Yeah. So
All right,
here you
well,
go.
It's a 2-inch chain,
Well,
right?
it would have been a mess anyway because it would have been in the way of your guys. So now's the right time to do it.
Okay, so start of a new turn. So yeah, that's when you would place that. 2 inches apart anywhere on the tabletop, more than 6 inches from any aircraft. So you cannot
6
throw it
inches away.
directly in front of him. Like that.
Okay.
Yep.
And they have to be like linked by, I think it's like a 2-inch link, right?
Correct. Just 2 inches. Each of them are 2 inches apart. And you can place them in clouds.
We've got
Wherever you
6
want.
of them, right?
Yep.
All right. So those guys are going there.
Give you a good spread. 6 is the most you can get, so that's a pretty big spread.
And they can come off at the end and then redeployed.
So they come off and skip for a
Skip
turn,
a turn, right?
basically. So you pull them at the end of a turn. You don't get to place the next turn.
Gotcha.
And the following turn they come back on. I feel like I'm running a tournament here.
Yeah, we don't play these like
Yeah.
crazy non-tour. I mean, you
Okay,
don't see Flak
it-
Barrage in a tournament.
It's
Yeah,
in a turn,
yeah,
so I
exactly.
can also redo my hand,
Yep.
right? I can get rid of stuff. So let's see. Probably don't need high altitude performance anymore. Don't need that either. Really, I don't have very much that's going to be handy in my hand because there's no more aircraft.
Yeah, and while Brett's fetching over his cards there, yeah, Scott, thanks for the kind words about the JU-88s. We need to get some painted up ones of the Blue Falcon STL and get
Oh,
those
man,
on the
the
table
blue-
because
the
I
ones Steve did
think
was
these 88s are Zvezda ones, right?
Yeah, these are really old ones.
Yeah, these are the old ones, so
Yeah,
we need to print up a couple of those
Grab it.
prints.
It's unpainted, but I don't know if people can see the level of detail. In
Yeah, let me put it over by the low ISO camera there, and I'll
I'll
bring that one up.
Here. Or in the
Yeah.
dice tray.
So it's a nice STL. Steve did a great job. Nice work, Steve. Even though you're a terrible Spitfire pilot, we appreciate your effort.
All right, if you guys are following along at home, help me do this. I've not played multi-engine much, and I've certainly not done a lot of whole, shooting at ground targets. This is going to get really interesting. I'm going to be learning a lot just from this.
We also have to remember in the post game, I have 2 pilots flying with damaged planes also.
Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt.
Depending on how this goes, I think there might have been some valor points for that guy doing the great dodge with the one. Okay, so I'm going to start with this guy. I'm going to burn advantage to maneuver and get in a better place.
Can you do that with multi-engine non-agile?
Yeah, they just can't outmaneuver or be outmaneuvered, but they can do the maneuver pilot.
Can they burn advantage to maneuver? They're laden though, so they aren't
Not
laden.
these
You
guys.
didn't put strafing ordnance
Yeah,
on
no.
them. Bummer.
Just gonna get,
Oh man,
Once
they're
again, I'm
running
surprised
away?
he literally has an attack airplane that should be carrying strafing ordnance because he could neutralize all the light flak for his bombers.
yeah, I'm just trying
Now
to
he's gonna
get
run
that-
away.
that angle. I'm just trying to get an angle. Hey. Oh, that's a good. Here's a question. Do I have to be at disadvantage to strafe? You have to
Yes.
be low, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that guy's done. And this guy,
Oh man, I got to make a note too. My pilots were actually damaged over in enemy territory, so this could get really ugly
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
This
Welcome
could
to
be
how you
bad.
lose pilots in the campaign rules.
and he's gonna fly. Okay, so he's done too.
All right.
All right, so we're at the end of the turn. I'm gonna move that.
Oh, they're chugging around the board edge.
Wait, yeah, 9 inches. I might have messed that up last time. That's okay. All right,
Now,
I
it's
think I wanna
funny to
bring those
watch
guys
Brett
in, right?
do this to you
Yeah, I know.
because he did this to me at BrettCon, whatever it was, when we were playing Malta and flew the SM-79s all the way around the board until they decided to jump out. So what I would say is at some point you're going to have to pull those flak markers and build a wall of flak near the edge of the board.
Yeah, well, they're coming off now, obviously, because it's the end of the turn and they're irrelevant. So we're going to skip this turn with the flak.
And then throw them back on there at the beginning of next turn. If he doesn't show up on the board, because if he shows up on the board, then you get that 6-inch buffer you got to give him.
So same kind of play. Burn advantage.
They can be near the target, though. They just can't be near his airplane, right?
Correct. And that was the problem we ran into was in that game, a Spitfire ran all the way down by the ship target. I couldn't place flak easily around the ship target, but I could place it over by the board edge.
Wow.
And strafing is brutal. So like
strafing can be brutal
do some damage on ships.
So he can take out a lot of
this aircraft. There you go.
Take a lot of flak. He can get a critical and do a hull hit to you.
That was awkward. So if you were wondering what the hell I was doing, I just
what were you doing?
And my other aircraft's in a way. I only went 3 inches, my minimum speed, so I could get around this cloud on my subsequent turn. This guy, his angle's pretty good, but I've got to be disadvantaged to make my strike, right? So I probably need to execute a dive for my initial pilot action. So I'm starting disadvantaged.
Dang, this could be good right here.
Burn advantage to dive. A dive has to be, it doesn't have to be 6, right? I can go my minimum.
Yeah, you can add whatever, you can go whatever move you want and add anything up to 6. So
just have to be within range of the target to shoot, right?
Yeah, and heavy hitter, I guess, too, if you're going to strafe, right? Don't you want to get into heavy hitter range, too?
Yeah, you would. So that's one of the arguments. Theoretically, heavy hitter does not apply to ground targets.
Oh.
Theoretically.
Man, look at my hand, too. I got all my heavy hitter cards out, too.
I think there's certain aircraft it should. This is one of those. So, we've had the argument in the ready room a couple times.
What does the card say? I'm not even familiar with that. I don't think I've ever.
Made within 3 inches. Add 1 firepower dice to the attack. It doesn't say it.
Yeah, it doesn't say it has to be air to air. Exactly. So my attitude is
bring it.
Bring it.
I agree.
Because the other counterpoint to that,
with the dive and everything, I would have got there.
Oh yeah, so just move it within 3, right?
Yeah.
It's like there. Get them in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Point them right at the target. Looks all pretty. Okay. So heavy hitter. So I'm firepower 2, skill 3, +1 for heavy hitter.
Nice. So we got a crit strafing attack on a destroyer. What does that even?
Did you say what does that even do?
Yeah,
Are you part of a podcast
the
that plays
destroyer
Blood Red
has
Skies?
mobile and all this. I don't remember.
We forgot to move the target.
We got to read it.
Moving it an inch every turn.
Let's start. It was
all right.
anchored.
The important thing is it's a destroyer, so it's hardened, right?
I don't know.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Destroyer is hardened mobile. Yeah.
All right. Flip open the book.
Okay.
Tell us what hardened does. And how many? You got 2 successes. All right.
Elevated. This is all terrain.
There should be a couple more that way. There's a list of target traits.
Target examples. Qualities. Here we go. Hardened. A hardened target is heavily reinforced against blasts and damage. In the case of a structure, most likely it is at least partially underground. Effect. Ignore X dice that are rolled successes in each bombing run, and it is hardened.
All right, so bombing runs. So this is an important thing. And
it was a strafe.
It was a strafe. So we ran into this with his Ju-87s in Malta. Strafing the ship was more effective than bombing it because it's hardened. So you got a critical. So critical in a strafe attack against a ship.
Oh gosh, where do I look for that?
Is going to do a hull. Oh, sorry, it's going to do a hull and a point hit.
Dang.
So flip over to strafe.
Pilot strafing attack. Bonus firepower for that's strafing ordnance. Strafing is resolved as standard shooting. Roll a number of dice equal to the aircraft's firepower plus fire skill, pilot skill. If a success is rolled, score 1 point hit on the target.
Correct. Now look against ships.
If a critical success is rolled, the 2 point hits are scored on the target instead of 1. Note that strafing cannot score area hits. Ships are, however, uniquely vulnerable to strafing attacks. A critical hit by strafing against a ship will cause 1 hull damage and 1 point hit instead of 2 point hits.
Correct.
Wow.
So,
What
did you do his light flak attack? Because
Not
that was
yet.
supposed to be preemptive. Remember,
Oh,
the
that's
light
what you
flak
said.
takes. So, even though he did this, you need to roll that light flak attack.
Which
because,
is 2.
Did something out of order. All right. That happens. It's all very new to me.
Okay, missed anyway. All right, so now you have 1 less light
Yeah.
flak and 1 less barrage.
Dang. So that was like
Because it
a
hits.
Yeah.
major,
What did I achieve? I achieved,
a critical hit with the strafe.
but you take 1 success away because
No,
it was
the only on
fun?
bombing attacks do you take
Oh,
a success.
okay,
So
okay.
that's how we ran into a problem that bombs were
Oh,
less effective
right,
than
right.
strafing a ship, and it sometimes doesn't make sense.
So I did so far, and I guess we have to update the counter over there.
Yep.
I've done
1
1
point
hull
hit.
damage and 1 point damage.
Yep.
So you've removed that.
Which caused me to lose 1 flak barrage and 1 light
And
flak.
1 flak.
also.
Yep, because you
All right,
lost
so
1 of
strafing's
each.
The bomb.
So that was a lot of
Hey,
damage.
no ton of, no pun
Which kind of
intended.
makes sense as a Ju-88C. I mean, it's a
what they do, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you're
This guy-
still up.
This guy, yeah, so it's the end of turn.
End of turn,
These
yep.
guys going to come on now at the beginning of the turn.
If you want, or you can keep marching them around the board.
Yeah, it might make sense because they can come out over there. Yeah, let's do that. So just move them 9.
So right to the corner is going to be 9.
All right, cool.
Right on the edge there. Turn the corner.
Okay.
All right, so I am going to put my flak barrage back out. That guy, he's already disadvantaged, so we're going to have a... Oh,
Oh, I think I rolled him as pilot skill 2. He was only pilot skill 3. I shorted myself dice on that guy. My pilot skill 2 guy is the one that got de-nipped in the beginning
do
of the
one
game.
here.
Did you also take your bonus light flak shot at the end of the turn?
I did not.
Okay.
Oh, at the end, there's a.
It's just
It's the parting shot.
it's just going to be 1, right?
No, he's disadvantaged, so
Yeah, you get to shoot at anybody that's disadvantaged, right?
correct.
Just one
Toss.
die.
Yeah, but it's just 1 die. And my flak barrage is back down to 5
Yeah.
because we lost
Yeah,
one of
just
those.
lost
I got to space those out a little further, I think. Light flak,
Okay.
nothing.
It's almost kind of reminds me of like a tail gun, tail turret.
Yeah, it's a lot like turrets in that sense.
So, first time playing Ju-88s. Kind of the thing I like about it so far is how I wasn't accumulating boom chits, but they were still dangerous. So it's like I know it was only 3v3 or 2v3, but I was with that outlast thing. I was piling the boom chits on more than he could put them on me.
All right.
Now it'd be a different scenario though if he was swarming me with all 13 of his airplanes. But if I'm like evenly matched, my guys might hang in there.
All right. So that's the move there.
Okay, so
That's good.
neutral 4 is the first guy. Same plan, I guess.
I guess, right? Why not?
He's got
And you had a great spacing between here, right? So I couldn't get any flak barrage in that area. You just had that good spacing there.
So he's gonna dive. He's gonna move up to 6. Probably 6 is right where I want to be. Turn 45, right? It's a little. Can
Yeah,
do
do
that
an
for
extra
me?
6. You can get up here, right?
Yeah, I think right there. Turn my 45.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Did he start disadvantaged?
No, he was
started
neutral. He
neutral.
burned
Okay.
advantage.
I
Yeah.
go
Right.
to disadvantage.
Want to make sure.
So now my pilot action is
Yeah, that
shoot.
burn advantage to
Okay.
dive to get
Shoot
you
him
into
first.
the strafing.
Yeah.
That's a good move. Nothing with the light flak.
Okay, so pilot skill 4
We come with another heavy hitter.
plus 2. Yeah, I have another heavy hitter. Got to discard this one. I forgot to reload my hand.
This is where it pays to be on the board in the campaign game, and you're just praying for that random event to come up, right?
I got a hit.
All right. So a regular strafing attack hit on a ship.
That's 1 point hit.
Okay, so what is heavy hitter's trait?
Oh, that's right. I was supposed to add one.
Oh no, you added a die, didn't you? Or did you
No, I
not?
didn't add one
Okay.
for heavy hitters,
Then
so
roll
no, I don't
roll that
do
extra
that.
die, and any hit is
A point hit, I
A
think.
crit, right?
what does heavy hitter say?
Any success counts as a critical. Oh, so that's
There you go.
two.
Dang.
I get a whole hit and a point hit again.
If you
Geez, just for making one hit.
which
Yeah.
is why another reason people say don't apply heavy hitter to
Oh, because
strafing.
OP or
Eh.
something. Man, strafing is the
Dude.
business.
I think that's the first time we've ever played a game and we had a sunk ship.
Did you
Oh,
get
is
up?
it sunk?
Did you get enough? So it
Yeah.
only had two.
It had two
Yeah,
holes,
it's
2
destroyer,
point.
yeah.
The bombers aren't even here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's a victory for the
That's
Germans.
it. Victory
Yep.
for the Germans.
The bombers didn't even come on.
Man. All right, well, that was cool. It was fun to kind of limp through another priority target game. We haven't played priority target for a
Yeah.
long time. Fun to shake off the rust of that. It was fun.
And I kind of like the JU-88s, but
Yeah.
they're cheap, 29 points.
Yeah.
I was in the campaign game. I was losing 110s, and so I'm able to replace them
Yeah.
with the
You know,
JU-88s for a period.
you can look at it a couple ways. I think because he only had 3 fighters, you didn't see the disadvantage of having
Yeah, if I
a non-agile.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
if
there's
I was getting swarmed, it would have been
Yeah.
Okay, and there were a lot of dodges, and I didn't catch it, so I apologize. But there were a lot of dodges you rolled with pilot skill.
Yeah, in the beginning,
That-
I
that you should- yeah.
I should have
I
only
think there
rolled
was only
on.
one or two.
Only
there
one or
wasn't
two.
that many.
But,
Yeah, there was
that's
only
that's the
shot.
fact is those guys are going to get knocked down.
But I don't think it would have
in
mattered
advantage.
anyway because I don't think I even shot at them enough to get
Yeah.
them down to the point where
Yeah.
boom chits would have been going on the car.
So it's just
Let's
that's
finish
that's the
the
tough
campaign
thing with a
portion.
non-agile multi-engine is they're going to find themselves in that
Where's the book?
regime.
Oh, there.
All right, well, let's do our
Post game.
post game.
All right. So that was fun. All right. Victory tallies. I didn't have any victory tallies necessarily that we know of yet. All right, so we had one guy that was shot down over enemy territory. or
Damaged over enemy territory.
Okay. All right, let's see. Got to get to the right page here. All right. Post-mission sequence. Let's see. We're going to tally pilot experience. So all our guys get +1 pilot, +1 XP for surviving the mission.
Yep.
+1 XP if a pilot scores a hit on a ground target. So both of those guys scored hits on the ground targets. That's helpful for them. Helps them rank up faster. +1 XP if a pilot shoots down an enemy pilot. Now, it might have inadvertently happened. I damaged the guy, but we don't know that he actually was shot down.
Yeah,
The
we
way
don't know
Steve and I
yet. We'll have to
played it in the
see.
post game is if we'll make a note that hey, my guy damaged his guy, and who it was specifically. We make that note, and maybe it was just damaged. But if he in the post game sequence we're about to go through, if it turns out that guy crashed or had to bail out, then I'll count that as a shoot down. All right, so let's see. We're going to resolve post-mission sequence. Once the mission is complete, with a little luck, it's time to return safely to base. Use the following steps and accompanying tables and flowcharts. After playing a mission, this process will determine the outcomes for your pilots and planes, direct you to carry out possible interactions with special characters, and reveal the next scenario. So the first thing we do is resolve shootdowns. We didn't have any specific shootdowns. We're going to resolve damaged aircraft, though. We did have some of those. So pilots with damaged aircraft still had to coax their planes back to safety. A damaged aircraft is any friendly plane that failed to dodge a shooting attack but was not shot down. Actually, we both had one of
We
those.
both had one,
Okay.
yeah.
My 4 had one
Yeah.
of those. Okay. So we'll start with Steve. He's going to use the damaged aircraft flowchart to determine the outcome of his guy that got damaged. So he's going to roll 1d6. Got a
6. That's got to be
That's
good.
usually good. So return to base.
Nice. So
He
he's
made it safely
good.
back to base.
Now I also had that guy that got damaged at the beginning with the pregame event,
Oh,
right?
that's right, because he counts as damage. He had
Yep.
the,
So let's roll him also.
he had the minor system
3.
3. Okay. Forced landing.
Oh, okay.
So that's page 49. We're going to take a look at that. So I think you have the chance. You have the option of bailing out too. You don't have to. You want to bail out or not?
No, we're
So he's
gonna
ride it
we
in.
were in friendly territory with this guy, right? So we'll
Yeah,
chance
it's
it.
friendly territory because that was a pregame thing. So you're gonna roll a 1d6 on the landing check for this guy.
Oh, 6, but
It's always good.
we had
Perfect
storm
landing.
clouds and difficult to land, so it goes down to a 4.
Oh, that's right. We have to do the
So we got the 2 modifiers.
still 4. 4 up is perfect landing.
So he's good, perfect landing. But
Which
man,
is
it
good.
could
If you would have rolled a 4, which would have normally been a perfect landing, but with those 2 modifiers, hard to land because it's a Spitfire, and the storm clouds, that would have put you in the hard landing category,
Yeah.
which potentially.
So I got lucky.
something
I
bad.
actually probably should have thought about bailing out maybe a little better with those modifiers, but we made it. We're
I
good.
didn't think I forgot about that because it doesn't always come up. Like the odds are not strong that a negative buff with the weather is going to be
Yeah.
a thing, but it was in this case. All right, so my 4 had a damage, a failed dodge. So it's 1d6 on that chart. See what happens.
Oh.
It's 2. It's never good. So bail out. So the idea is that he's, obviously he survived the enemy action here and didn't get shot down immediately by flak or the fighters. But as he's trying to limp home, something goes wrong, and it's so bad that the pilot and crew have to bail out. So I'm going to go to the bailout chart. So I'm going to roll a 1d6. Hopefully that works out okay. A 4. Soft landing.
Nice.
Good.
So he's good to
I
go.
lose the aircraft, right? So I have to scratch that aircraft off in my maintenance chart.
Was he in his soft landing? Was that in friendly
Yeah,
territory?
that's what we got to figure out. It's a good point. So
I mean, it was kind of
it
right in the
happened
middle,
over here
right?
in
I think
friendly
you're
territory.
good. I think
So
you're good.
when it happens over friendly territory, no problem. It was a soft landing on the chart. It was in friendly territory, so I don't have to worry about like avoiding capture or anything like that. So the way it works in the campaign game for us, I'll scratch that aircraft off. I no longer have that aircraft available, which is a bummer, but I didn't lose my pilot. Like a pilot
Yeah.
is really hard to replace, especially if it's a guy. It's like in this case, pilot skill 4, and maybe he's got a bunch of XP because he's done a lot of missions. I don't want to lose
Yeah.
that guy.
Now, I do have to check on the damaged aircraft chart,
Okay.
right? Even though they made it back and landed, I might lose those for a mission or two, correct?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're going to do performing aircraft management is going to be the very last step. So we resolved our damaged aircraft. The next thing we have to do is our landing checks.
Okay.
I only have to do a landing check for one guy because I only have one guy that
Yeah.
because that guy bailed out.
Yeah, me too also, because my other guys already did their landing through the
So usually what happens on the landing check, it's not you don't do a landing check on every single aircraft. It's just for one aircraft out of every 6 you'll do a landing check on. So you randomize it. So if we had still 12 aircraft apiece on the board, or not even still on the board, obviously I guess still on the board because those other guys would have been damaged or shut down. But if 12 guys on the board, we randomize that. It would be like a couple guys. We see if something bad happens. In this case, we each have one aircraft, so it's still just one.
Yep.
So let's see. Landing checks. 1d6.
6 again.
That's
So that's a
always
4.
good.
He's good to go.
Yeah, even with the -1 for
Yep.
bad weather and a -1 for hard to land.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the same thing. I only have -1 for weather. 'Cause I
Yep.
don't have a hard to land aircraft.
Oh, goes
that's
down to
not
a
good.
2 again.
2 is never good. Hard landing. H49. Let's see what happens. So I need to roll a 1d6. See what happens. Hopefully my guy doesn't get injured or something silly.
Oh, he's gonna
5.
be
Oh,
good.
he's uninjured.
Good,
So that's good. So it was a rough landing, but nothing bad. Whew. Those are always a little nerve-wracking. Okay. So aircraft outcomes. Let's see. We got all that. Tally group experience. Okay, we did not only our individual pilot XP we added to our sheets, we get group XP, right? So +1 group XP for each surviving aircraft in a mission. So you had a couple of those. I had really only one of those because only 2 guys flew. One aircraft didn't survive. So
Yep.
not a whole lot of group XP for me. I did get a lot of group XP because I had a victory, so that's good. So those XP get used for like replacing my aircraft or pilots or whatever. So that's helpful. I already lost an aircraft, so I need as much of that as I can get. So squadron prestige. Now, I was thinking it was probably worth some valor points for how that.
Oh,
guy
for that
twice
one
in a
guy
row
that-
dodged on just one, right?
Absolutely.
But wasn't enough significant valorous things going on in this particular game to be a modifier for anything. So it was just only the one, right? But if you can imagine, that was just one element. If I was like supremely lucky and things like that were happening across the board for me, and I had a whole lot of, maybe I had 2 or 3 events that we decided, yeah, man, that's worth some special recognition. Or the other way around, like something like really bad. Like, how my guys weren't shooting for crap in some instances? Like,
Yeah.
if that was happening all over, like, what, these guys maybe need a
negative valor
negative,
point.
yeah. Well, then it could be a squadron roll modifier, but not really relevant here. All right. So post-mission event. Your pilots have returned from the mission and you have resolved outcomes of any shootdowns or damaged aircraft. The post-mission event adds some narrative to your campaign. It could have a big impact on your squadron's subsequent missions. Each of us will roll a d6 on the post-mission event chart to determine this event.
All right, you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, go for it.
Post-mission event chart. 6. That's going to be something.
Let's see what we got. 6. Special character interaction.
All right. So I would roll to randomly select a character normally if we had our full
Special
roster out
characters may
there.
interact with your squadron or your pilots. Their collaboration or hindrance will affect your campaign. Randomly select a special character who's already known to your squadron and roll a d6 on the special character action chart. Now, we have, you can pull maybe one of mine up. That's my squadron personnel roster. Grab those other sheets there. Some of those are going to be the ones we want. Duty roster. These are my duty rosters. Squadron record. Okay, this is. At least that's a fighter. All right, so yeah, so this is how the sheet I use to keep track of who the squadron knows and all that stuff. So do you want to randomly select?
Yeah, I'll just randomly select the guy off my roster and we'll roll for him.
Okay, 1d6.
5.
5. Helps or hinders.
Okay. So the event is a helps or hinders. So this is going to be some type of character interaction that is either going to give this guy a positive or negative.
Which special character do you have in your squadron?
I know I have the group adjutant.
Okay, so group adjutant. Let's use him. Okay, so you're gonna roll a 1d6. We're looking for a help or hinder. So 1, 2, 3, they hinder. 4, 5,
We
6.
got a
they
4.
help. So you get a +1 pilot on all your pilot replacement rolls for the next mission. So
Nice.
as you're figuring out, like, oh man, I need to replace this pilot, you have to roll for that. You get +1. You get,
Nice. That's going to be an impact for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to do the same thing. I need to see what my post-game event's going to be. Post-mission event. 3. Major maintenance. Oh, man, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like a negative. Major maintenance. The punishing tempo of air combat operations often forced the repair and overhaul of aircraft engines and equipment under unforgiving conditions. One of your aircraft requires major maintenance and will be unavailable for at least one mission, but possibly longer. Randomly select one aircraft from your maintenance log, and this plane will be unavailable for the next mission.
So not too bad.
Well, so what happens is I have to roll a d6 for that plane, and I have to get a 5 up with my modifiers to get it back. So if I roll crappy so I'm going to make a mark on my maintenance log that shows whatever random aircraft is no longer available, and I make a little note in the column what the roll requirement is, and I do it in pencil. In this case, it's a 5+. If I get a 5 up, I clearly won't have it next game, but at the end of that game, when I'm going through the chart, I see what I need to roll, and if I fail to roll a 5 up, then it keeps getting lower. Each game, it's a 4 up, 3 up, 2 up, until eventually I can.
So the maximum amount of games you'll lose that airplane for is a
like,
natural 6.
Yeah. So, all right.
Awesome, man.
All right, I think that's
Good to chip away on that campaign. And just for everybody out there, our campaign year right now, we just rolled over to January of 1941. So that's also going to affect what planes we have available. And so January 41, moving on to the next game.
That's right. This is the part where Steve and I would do our personnel management. Like, we might have guys that are like, I have one or more guys that are POWs. I'd see if they return. I might have some guys from a previous game that were injured or were missing. Absent from being able to be put on my mission duty roster. So we have all these roles and stuff to do to see if we got that guy back. Same thing with our aircraft. We go through pilot replacements, checking to see if any captured pilots we have make it back. We manage our aircraft to see if we need aircraft, like this one that you saw that I have that's going to be missing. I might have ones like that that are in maintenance from a previous mission. I see if they return, get all that sorted out, and then we figure out what our next mission's going to be.
Yeah, man.
So
That's a fun game.
You want to see what our next mission's going to be?
Let's roll for it.
All right. A lot of times Steve and I will do all that aircraft management, personnel management on our own, but we like to figure out before we're done for the evening what our next mission's going to be, so we can build our duty rosters and stuff for that next game. Start getting ready for that, figuring out how we're going to play it. So, all right, 3d6. You want me to roll it? Our next mission is 2, 6, 10. Dogfight, scenario 1.
All right, so straight dogfight mission next time.
So you want to roll, see how big it's going to be?
Yeah,
1d6.
let's go. How many D6?
Just one.
5. It's going to be a big one.
Let's see. D6. 1,000 points.
1,000-point dogfight.
Yeah, all right. And no target type to roll on.
All
So that's what
right.
we got. And it'll be February 41.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. It's good to get on the board and do a campaign game not on Tabletop Simulator.
Right?
Heck yeah. Maybe we'll continue this at Adepticon.
Okay.
That January 41 1,000-point dogfight.
Yeah, nice.
I like it.
All right, cool.
Awesome, man. Great game.
Thanks, brother.
Excellent.